Greetings, fellow detectives. Wizard Kitten here, bringing you part 4 in our walkthrough for Nancy Drew, The Captive Curse. We just finished talking to Lucas. Let's see what's in here. Looks like the gift shop. That's pretty neat. Ah! It's a lady.
Guten Abend, Frau. Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Sprechen Sie... Oh, do I speak German? No, sorry.
No. I am the one to apologize. Karl, the Burgermeister, is supposed to tell me a little bit about each guest, like the language you speak and where you're from. This way I can have everything prepared for your stay. But again, he has not done this correctly. I'm Anja, the Castellan. I'm in charge of guest services. I'm here to help you with anything you need during your stay.
Nice to meet you. I'm Nancy Drew.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Miss Drew. You sure picked an interesting week to visit. You must have a strong heart.
What do you mean?
What, you don't know? Then it's nothing.
It must be something, or you wouldn't have said anything.
The castle's worked up in a panic right now, so I have to warn you that your visit here may not be the world-class experience we aim to provide. But I will do my best to make sure that your visit is a happy and safe time for you.
Why is everyone a little spooked right now?
Oh, well, I suppose you'll find out about it anyway. I might as well be the one to fill you in. Mind you, don't get upset. Are you the easily frightened type?
No.
Good. You'd tell me if you were. There's nothing wrong with being scared.
I'm not. Promise.
Okay, good. But you do not need to worry about this, I see. How do you say this? There's a monster situation potentially taking shape.
A monster situation?
Well, that's the buzz around the castle. You need background. This castle, has a history. Legend around here says that a monster lives in these woods. Once in a great while, he returns, seeking a victim. People think that time is now.
What makes everyone think the monster is coming here now?
As long as I've been here, people always pointed out signs of his return. Cows would go missing, flocks of sheep would disappear, claw marks would appear on the trees. Everyone would say, "Oh, the monster will be here soon!" But when he doesn't come, everyone calms down and forgets about the legend until strange things start happening again.
Are strange things happening now?
Yeah, but different this time.
How so?
The signs are the same, but everyone is reacting differently. It's spooky. I heard once that before a tsunami, all of the animals will run to a higher ground. They just know. That is what it is like this time. We all just know.
Do you believe there's a monster on his way here?
What do you want me to say, Nancy? I can't answer anything like that at work.
Please, I won't tell anyone what you say.
I do. It's stupid, I know. But there is something terrible out there. I can just feel it. We all can. It's taken everything I've got to stay here through this.
What can you tell me about the monster?
I don't know, Nancy. A lot of the older people here say they've seen it, but none of them will say what it looks like.
Why not?
Not sure. Maybe they didn't see it. Maybe they did, and they don't want to remember. But everyone will tell you about the strange things that have been going on.
Like what?
Look, I could get into a lot of trouble for telling you things like this. Can you promise me that you won't tell anyone that I am telling you this stuff?
I promise.
Okay. For the last little while, there have been these weird howls from the woods. The sound, it's no animal I've ever heard of, and it is definitely not human. It sounds, I don't know, frustrated? At night you can hear the thing. It's circling the castle, getting closer each time. It's terrible.
Eee.
What do the people who live here think about the monster?
People have stopped talking about it. Those who can have skipped town. Those of us who really live here, let's just say you're not going to be finding many open doors on a night like tonight. People are scared.
This monster, does anyone know why it's supposed to be here?
Legend says he comes from the forest whenever the girl in the necklace walks the castle halls, and he will stop at nothing to steal her away into the woods.
Well, then what happens?
No one knows, but these girls, they are never seen again. None of them.
What do you think of Carl?
I think that Carl has been placed on this planet to test my patience.
So you two don't get along, I take it.
The fact that that man got elected makes me wish we were back in the days when you had to pull a sword out of a stone or a lake or something to assume power. He'd never be able to figure it out. Too many steps. What with the pulling and then the not dropping it and then the remembering to tell people about what happened.
Do people around here trust Carl?
Apparently enough do. He's still got the job.
Can you tell me a little about Lucas?
Has he been bothering you? Be honest now.
No, I'm just curious.
He's my nephew. His father's the head of security here, so Lucas has pretty much got the run of the place. Although, that goes to his head now and again. Don't let him pester you too much now, and let me know if he's bothering you.
Will do.
He's got too much energy for sure, and he's a little too smart for his own good, but a good kid still.
Has Lucas always been such a prankster?
Ugh, unfortunately, yes. I swear he was trying to trick us before he said his first word. Even as a baby, he had this glint in his eye like he was up to something. It was less cute than you'd imagine, actually.
Why does he seem to target Carl?
I know. You're thinking I condone it. I don't. Lucas's father is always so busy running security. Honestly, I think that Lucas is a little lonely these days. He doesn't have a lot of friends at school, from what I can tell. He must like the attention. That being said, I think most of these so-called pranks are Carl's doing.
What do you mean?
The way he blunders through life, it's not surprising that he always thinks he's the victim of some practical joke. He's the victim of a joke, all right, but it's more cosmic than practical.
What do you think of Renata?
I love her stories. Sometimes when she comes, the two of us stay up until the sun comes up, just chattering away about this and that. You ask me, her reputation is completely undeserved.
What reputation?
It's difficult to explain exactly. A lot of people say that wherever she goes, bad fortune follows.
Do you think that?
Not really. But she does always have peculiar timing. Come to think of it, whenever the castle gets to talking about the monster, she's not far behind.
Really? Do you think she has something to do with the monster sightings?
I'd be surprised. But then again, no, never mind. It's nothing.
What?
Okay, I shouldn't be telling you this. One time when she was here, and again everyone was all worked up about the monster, and she told the stories that scared everyone who listened half to death. So later that night, when everyone was locked in their houses with the windows shut tight, I caught her snooping around the castle.
What was she doing?
That's just the thing. I couldn't figure it out. She didn't come back for a long time after that. Actually, that was the last we heard of the monster for a while, too.
What's a castellan?
I'm in charge of the overall guest experience here. Carl, who you may have met earlier, is the Burgermeister, sort of like the mayor. Or, I mean, that's what he would really be if he actually did any work. I'm sorry, that wasn't really appropriate. Long day.
So, how did you get such a cool job?
I get asked that all the time. It's really fun here and pretty competitive. I got my job by working my way up and managing smaller households and attractions in the area. Then one day there was an opening. I turned in my resume and crossed my fingers.
You've got some great stuff in here. Is any of it for sale?
Of course. This shop is very popular with tourists. Most everything is for sale. You'll find the prices listed.
I'd like to buy some souvenirs, but I'm low on money. Any idea how I could make more?
People are always dropping coins around the castle. Oh, and Carl has been offering to pay for people's help on that silly game of his.
Bye.
Bye.
It's weird because Nancy doesn't like turn away from her. She's still just like staring at her. It's like, hi, I'm just going to keep staring at you for a while. Okay, so we've got some Cocoa Kringle bars. Classic Nancy Drew cookie right there. Up here, you'll see the puzzle box all the way back from the final scene. That's a, like, OG cookie. Let's see. We've got some glass figurines that are really pretty that you can purchase. Grimm's Baddies. No story is complete without a villain. In Grimm's fairy tales, villains tend to fall into one of three categories: monster, social misfit, or stepmother. These characters sent the heroes of the stories through the ringer in their attempts to rid themselves of the heroes for good, and the baddest of the bad were truly awful. In tales featuring children, you could always count on at least one wicked parent. Interestingly, the villains the children would face in the outside world would usually be the same gender as the wicked parent at home. If the dad was evil, the kids would face down an ogre or a robber. If the mother or stepmother was wicked, the children would invariably be facing a witch. The monster category contains one of the most recognizable fairy tale villains of all time, the wolf from Little Red Cap, also known as Little Red Riding Hood. This notorious scourge of pleasant walks to grandmother's house has been frightening children for generations, but he's not the only monster lurking in the pages of these tales. Heroes and heroines often found themselves facing both real and imaginary monsters during their trials, from bears and foxes to trolls and giants. While the first villain category contains actual monsters, the second category consists of the social misfits. These everyday humans, typically male, have left behind law-abiding ways. While neither supernatural nor outwardly terrifying, robbers, brigands, and raiders never fail to cause their fair share of distress to our heroes and heroines. It's the final category that strikes the most fear into the residents of fairy tale worlds, the stepmothers and witches. This band of malevolent miscreants is as deadly as it is deceptive. The villains of this group make up a good portion of the top 10 most well-known villains list, including the not-so-charming ladies from Little Snow White, Cinderella, and Hansel and Gretel. Each tale serves as a dire warning, with the villains playing an integral role in getting across the story's true message. From Don't Talk to Strangers, Little Red Cap, to Greed Will Get You Nothing in the End, The Fisherman and His Wife, fairy tales and their dark villains offer endless amounts of wisdom for those who live to tell the tale. I love the theme of stories in this whole mystery. It's all really cool. Interesting. Okay, so we've got these like goofy bobbleheads. They're only £7. We could actually afford that. And if you look at the monster here, it can speak in German or British, which I think is hilarious. So like the German monster growls efficiently, but the same button in British, monster growls angrily. In German, monster growls sternly. Yes, yes, indeed. In British, thoughtfully. It's so random. Reflectively. Sharply. So goofy. Quite well. It growls quite well. Archly. Ooh, that's an arch growl if ever I heard one. Matter-of-factly. Like, what is this machine? Monster growls casually. Oh my goodness. Ridiculous. Love it. Now, this monster's book, What and Why, The Real Deal of German Legends, appears to be from the exact same series that Jane from Curse of Blackmore Manor had. She had a monster book very similar to this, but it was specifically about werewolves. This one has Beware the Countryside of Germany. Monstrous creatures roam the forests of the nation, striking terror into the hearts of all. Nachzehrer, a type of vampire that drains the life force of its victims rather than their blood, generally individuals who had family ties to the vampire when it was alive. The Nachzehrer also has the ability to shapeshift into a pig. No stakings are needed to render this vampire harmless, simply place a coin in its mouth instead. That's real random. Doppelganger literally means double goer. This creature is an exact physical double of a living person. Of the two, one is believed to be evil and the other good. Coming face to face with your doppelganger is seen as an omen or warning of impending doom. That sounds creepy. Wolpertinger, a hybrid monster made of many different parts. The Wolpertinger is generally portrayed as a horned rabbit with wings that makes itself at home in the alpine woods of Bavaria. What now? Boxenwolf. A magical belt is said to transform the wearer into this legendary werewolf. The Boxenwolf has the keen senses and speed of a wolf while retaining a sharp human mind. Unlike a traditional werewolf, it can be killed by any weapon. Nixie, typically half woman, half fish, the Nixie has the ability to become fully human and walk on land. This malicious shapeshifter usually stays in her watery home, singing her siren call and luring men to their death. That is a mermaid. So basically we've got mermaid, werewolf, jackalope thing that flies. Doppelganger is unique, and then vampire. Essentially German versions of all the classics. These definitely look like t-shirts that Nancy has, or has had in her suitcase in previous games. Let's see. You can get like a creepy Frankenstein doll. And then there's these clocks on the wall that we can look at, but we can't do anything with. Probably important to remember. It looks like you can get a mug. It's 10 pounds. It's not a particularly cute mug, though. It's got the German stuff on it. The Art of Glass. Oh, that looks like a password or something.
I wonder what this says. Maybe the pictures will help me figure out how to crack this code.
I remember in German when we looked at the Castle Crier, it was like Sonne, Mond, and Comet, but with a K. I guess we'll have to remember that. More reading. Goodness gracious. Tradition runs deep in Bavaria. From food to dress to arts, Bavarians take pride in their regional identity. Crafts and tales are passed down through generations, and festivals celebrating heritage are held annually. Glass blowing, one of the oldest traditional arts, is still practiced throughout the region today. Renowned for their beautiful designs and intricately etched crystal, today's glass blowers use techniques and processes nearly identical to those first used in the region centuries ago. It starts with a basic mixture of sand, lime, and soda, placed in a furnace and heated to around 1600 degrees Celsius. The sand mixture becomes molten glass under the high heat, ready to be worked by the glass blower. Collecting some of the liquid glass on the end of their long blowpipe and pulling it from the furnace, the glass blower must work quickly to shape the red-hot glass into its final form. During shaping, the glass cools rapidly and must be placed frequently into the furnace to reheat it. During the shaping process, additional ornaments like handles, borders, or colors are often worked into the piece. Pre-colored glass fragments can be used to add in colors, or the glass blower can combine different metal compounds with the sand mix that will result in multitudes of colors, from adding chromium for emerald greens to gold for luscious ruby reds. Once finished, the final piece is placed in an annealer oven. This heat-regulated oven allows the glass to slowly cool at a regulated pace, which reduces stress in the glass, thereby making the entire piece structurally stronger. Depending on the size and thickness of the glass, the annealing process generally lasts anywhere from hours to days before the glass is ready to be removed from the oven. Along the glass route in southern Germany, visitors can tour numerous glassworks and smaller private workshops and see firsthand the magnificent pieces being made by the artisans who continue to practice the craft. Regional galleries, museums, and souvenir boutiques offer the final glass products for purchase, helping keep the tradition alive, supporting the local art community, and allowing others to bring home a piece of the magic. Indeed, indeed. Glass art is stunning. Very cool. Nice t-shirts. I came to see the creature and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Cute. We could get postcards. There's like this postcard or this postcard. Definitely just pictures of around the castle. this is like a snack machine, which I love. I love this idea. And you know what? Renata told us that if we give her cake, she'll fall asleep. So I kind of am thinking that that might be a worthwhile investment. Because then we can snoop through her stuff. You know what I'm saying? Nancy loves it when people sleep and she can snoop. Oh, this doll totally looks like the doll from Secret of the Old Clock, doesn't it? Like the toy doll. Look at that cake. Oh my gosh. I would absolutely eat that along with Renata. That looks so good. Yeah, I would honestly probably buy the, like, fritter first, just because it's not quite so, like, rich and caloric, like, if between the two. But, like, the cake would be, okay, I'm just gonna spoil myself kind of moment. Sorry, not Renata. Anja, you just kind of, like, popped up. Okay, cool. Well, I think I'm going to leave this part right here. Thank you so much for watching, fellow detectives. I will see you soon.